What's good, everyone, and welcome back to another video in the channel. Today I'm going to be predicting the teams that are going to be winning in this weekend for round 18. Those following teams will be closing in for finals at September because we got 2 months to go before finals begin. Yeah, it's been too long for me to like doing these predictions, but other than that, I'm here to predict the teams on who's going to get over in this weekend for game round number 18. So why not we get straight to it? But before we do that, make sure you guys are subscribed if you are new to the video and liking this video if you are not. But yeah, let's get to the video. By the way, I'm just wearing a North Melbourne jersey because why not for the video.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So we kick off at Friday night game between Collingwood and geelongcats. Now these are the two history sides that will go against each other. Collingwood were very impressive. I thought they were ahead in the first quarter. If you guys haven't seen the live stream, they were absolutely pursued on their game against the Bombers, but they fell short in the fourth quarter. And losing Brody Majocek, a big gun forward to the Magpies, is a very crucial blow for them. So it's going to be a lot more harder for the Pies to gain the momentum without Brody Majocek again. It's going to be a hard challenge for them. Geelong Cats are capable of what they can do because they got very good forwards and good midfielders last week against Hawthorn. I wouldn't say it would be a higher margin point between those two sides. It would be a close one. If I were to say this, fourth quarter can be ups and downs goals. I wouldn't see too many controversial calls. But other than that, I want to see some very, very entertaining game at Friday night footy. This is going to be a tough one. Magpies might get over in the second and third. No, I think the Pies would be able to win this fourth quarter because I know how they do it without their key forwards, Jamie Elliott and Brody Majocek. But I think the Geelong might snag that victory, so I'm going to go with Geelong by 5 points. I reckon it might be a close one. We're heading over to Tasmania for Hawthorn v Dockers. Hawthorn and versus Dockers, they have kind of a history between these two. I do remember that they have once faced each other at the grand final. But yeah, this is totally different game. Hawthorn were very, very good at the start when they were up against the Cats, but other than that, the Cats were very, very too good, and I don't see them getting over the Dockers because Fremantle have a lot of good players in my opinion. So their forms have been very, very good this season from the Dockers, but they might be too strong, I would say. However, Hawthorn might be able to set up a really, really hard contest between the Dockers. So this might go over the wire, but the Dockers may be too strong at the fourth quarter at the start of it. So maybe Fremantle might get over Hawthorn, maybe by 45 points. Now we go to SCG for Sydney Swans v North Melbourne. Now this is the game that North Melbourne is really, really important to them. They were absolute dominance against Gold Coast Suns. And I do believe North Melbourne are they're officially off the bottom, which this predicts that the North Melbourne might be able to get that form what they should have done in the first place. And they're up against Sydney Swans, who are facing a hard struggle with 2 straight losses in a row. So I don't know what's going on with the Swans. They were starting pretty good against the St Kilda. I did watch the game. Look, it was very hard to watch my team facing up against Swans, but luckily we've got away with a win. We got a big statement going on, and now we're finding ourselves back on track. North Melbourne are ready for a hard challenge. They've once done it against Collingwood, and I would love to see how North Melbourne can do when they're up against the first place ladder leaders. Plus, I'll be going to that game for Sydney Swans and North Melbourne. I might go with my mate to make a match day vlog from it, so stay tuned for that one also. It's gonna take some time to get that adjustment right to North Melbourne. Another close game, another upset will be very, very amazing to see because we've got a couple of upsets last week, and I would love to see another one for my expense. Maybe Swans. I'm gonna go Swans by by 30 points. And we move on to Marvel Stadium, another big game between Western Bulldogs versus Carlton. The Carlton were like very, very good at the NG Stadium. I thought they were going away with a second quarter, but they were absolutely blistered at third quarter against the Giants. The Giants were like, they bring the orange tsunami, which I'm very, very surprised on how they did this. But Carlton stood up in the fourth quarter, but they managed to fight some center clearance. But they weren't getting it right. But other than that, Carlton might be very, very proud of how they played. I'm not saying this because it's not a denial or something, but I'm just saying Carlton were very, very good against the Giants. They stood up a big fight against the Orange Tsunami, but they're up against Western Bulldogs at Marvel Stadium. So this is a Bulldogs need a win to like get off that last week's biggest loss against Port Adelaide. It's gonna be it might be an easy win against for Carlton. It would say that from my head, it would say Carlton will be the better team at every quarters. Paddy Cripps is going to continue his dominance at the midfields. But yeah, I think Carlton will get over Doggies by 25 points. Now we head over to Adelaide Oval. It is Adelaide Crows v St Kilda Saints, my team, of course. Adelaide were taking their great shape so far. They were just a bit rough at the start of the season, but now they're working way through on like winning some couple of games. But until then, Isaac Rankin has received a massive game suspension, so that's a big blow from them, a big out for them especially, and us as well. Max King, we didn't have him last week against the Swans, but we managed to find our way through thanks to Jack Egan's, who scored that match-winning goal last week at Marvel Stadium. And I do believe we can do it again. It will never be the same game as part of like last week. And I just want to see some good game. I want to see some great performance by these boys. I think the Crows might be able to like win this quarter in every half stage. So I do say, I might be too harsh as I say Kilda supporter, but I do believe the Crows might get the job done against the Saints by 15 points, and fourth quarter will be theirs as well. So now we move on to Melbourne v Essendon at MCG. This is a game, another blockbustering event that we were never ever going to miss out, kinda. Demons were were elite at their performance with a win against West Coast Eagles. It would have been so bad if they lose to the former Wooden Spooners. Other than that, they've got the job done. And bad news from Melbourne, Max Gawn is sidelined for the Demons, so he would be unavailable against the Bombers. But the Bombers, from my hand, I think they are a real deal after their impressive win against the Magpies last week. This is the first time, not actually first time, but they have won against Magpies since 2021, so it's been too damn long. I guess they were waiting for that win, but I do feel like Bombers should be able to get over against Melbourne Demons. Because look, Essendon has like another great players in the sideline. Like, you can't just get the feeling of like how they do this in every game. And my point of view, I think Bombers are like going to win the flag, but it's too late. It's too early to jinx it. So my fault saying that for my expensive opinions. But yeah, maybe Essendon is gonna get the job done by 12 points percentage, I believe. 50. It's gonna be a 50-50 game. Other than that, look, I want to see some like great game by these two sides. They're going to give absolutely a big show in front of the fans. Now we move on to Sunday, 14th of July. It's Gold Coast Suns v Port Adelaide. Now this is a game that it's at People's First Stadium. It takes place. Gold Coast Suns were like up against North Melbourne, and they would be consistently not playing good when they're from away and home. they always win against any teams that are like placing at home ground, but they were just not good enough playing away games because I don't feel like they weren't ready. They were not very too good on like how they play again at away games. And I do believe for Adelaide, I have a huge advantage playing away games because they're like a big fan of it, I could say. But now Gold Coast Suns are playing home this time. This is the time that they need to get back because they need to fix this form. Damien Hardwick gave a strong message, especially the Gold Coast Suns fans. Like, they need to understand that they got some work to do. They will fix up that mistake, and that's exactly what Gold Coast Suns need to do if they want to play finals. Gold Coast are like really good playing home ground, so I would say Gold Coast might get the job done over. But thing is, Took Miller is out from a broken wrist, so another big loss because he's a big midfielder player. He's provided more something. Maybe Gold Coast would be like a real deal in the game, maybe by 4 points. 4 points for my call is a big one. The Suns are just like really high contenders. They want to play finals, and they need to work on it. Now we move on to the MCG game, Richmond v Giants. Now the Giants are certainly up for a game right now. They're back into their form once again, and I do see getting over against Richmond because Giants are like really good. They're sending them a warning sign that to every AFL teams that the Giants are coming for anyone who's hungry to play against the Giants. And I do feel like the Orange Tsunami is gonna bring it back once more when they're up against Richmond Tigers. Tigers were up for they certainly improved, but again the injuries are certainly to rise up again. The injuries is costing them to win some couple of games, but Giants certainly don't care like whether it takes to them to like take them over, because it's not going to be very easy like take when they're up against a wooden spooners Richmond Tigers. So maybe it's going to be 32-point win to the Giants' way. Now we move on to the final game of round 18. It is West Coast Eagles versus Brisbane Lions at the Optus Stadium at Earth. This game is all about something, and I do believe this is about West Coast Eagles. Eagles were finding something against Melbourne Demons, and they put a lot of challenge. Harley Reid again, another persuade game from in this game, and I want to see Harley Reid do it again against Brisbane Lions. Just the fend-offs, mate. You just can't stop him. The bloke is like really strong, and that's something that West Coast is only superhero that can like overcome the odds. But when you're up against Brisbane Lions, this is a really consistent game that you would never know what's gonna happen, because Brisbane Lions, again, another impressive win against Adelaide Crows. Charlie Cameron continuing to like dominate the game, and I would highly see another close game. But Brisbane Lions maybe snuck that lead in the third quarter, and fourth quarter will be theirs. So I think Brisbane Lions might get over the Eagles, especially Harley Reid, maybe by just a less margin point, so maybe 12 points. And that wraps up the round 18 prediction for the 2024 season. If you guys want to see more predictions like this, make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you're new to the video. We're chasing up to 550 and then keep just gaining more subs, so if you haven't, just do it right now. It will be very appreciated. But yeah, hope you guys to see you guys in the next video, and stay tuned for the matchday vlog between Sydney Swans and North Melbourne. It's gonna be a blockbustering one. It's gonna be a good one, and yeah, hope you guys to see you there. Cheers.